So, what brings you all the way to a little town like Carlton? Shannon Wood took a deep breath, feeling like her interview must be going well if the owner was asking such a casual question. She stuck with the truth, knowing it was always the best. I have family here, actually. Oh? Anyone I would know? Chase Thompson was friendly enough. With his beard and logger's shoulders, he looked like a textbook example of someone who'd run a brewery like the Warehouse. Maybe. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, uncertain of exactly how this would go over. My aunt, Lenora Millhouse? Oh. His mouth kept the shape of the sound as his dark eyebrows shot up, and he scratched a hand through his beard. I've met her a couple of times since I know a few people who have their food carts set up on a property. He'd recovered quickly enough, but she'd still seen it on his face. Lenora wasn't shy about showing her true self. She'd always been a character. She was also a witch, just like Shannon. I joked about starting a food cart of my own, but I'd rather be weaving through tables and checking up on them than slinging burgers in a hot little truck. Chase scanned her resume. Looks like you got quite a bit of experience back in Portland. If he was concerned about her relationship with Lenora, he was hiding it well. I'd like to take you around to meet some of the staff, if that's all right. Of course. Shannon fought hard to keep her smile placid when she really wanted to dance and scream for joy. He hadn't exactly offered her the job yet, but this was damn close. The Warehouse was the best place she could find, and considering how few options there were in Carlton compared to Portland, she desperately wanted the job. She followed Chase out of the office. This is our head chef, Drew Prue. He's been with us since the beginning, putting up with me when I just wanted to stick with sandwiches and salads. He's growing the menu more than I ever could have imagined. Drew, this is Shannon Wood. She's interviewing for the server position. The man in question turned around, wiping his large hands on his apron. Shannon's breath instantly left her chest as she took him in. His dark blonde hair was short enough on the sides that the overhead lights picked out tiny hints of gold, and the top had just enough length to be swept back. Deep green eyes, the color of the forest in September, gazed out at her, intelligent and intriguing. His shoulders were broad under his double-breasted jacket, and she caught the barest hint of tattoos under his cuff as he reached forward to shake her hand. Nice to meet you. You're the one who worked up at Mignon, right? I hear they're really tough on their staff. Shannon had hardly paid attention to men over the last several years, too busy concentrating on raising her kids and bringing home enough money to support them. But Drew brought all the heat to the kitchen. Goddess, he's a fine specimen, she noted as she smiled, letting her hand linger in his for a moment when he didn't let go right away. The hours were long and hard, but I got good tips. He swallowed and nodded, turning back to the frying pan on the stove just in time to see the grease splatter down into the flames. It jumped to life, sizzling and spreading. Shit! Drew snagged a lid and smothered the pan, but not before a hot drop of flaming oil jumped to his apron, setting part of it ablaze. Here! A burly man further down the counter hurled a pot of water, splashing it over the three of them and soaking Drew in the process. Shannon jumped back as the cold waves saturated her black jeans, but she was far more concerned about the fire spreading over Drew's uniform. She yanked a fire extinguisher from the wall, her hands acting before her brain could remind her she didn't work there. Yanking out the pin, she pulled the trigger and sent foam flying. A few moments later, a soggy Drew stood before her with white foam covering his crotch. His cheeks were red, but Shannon could sense it wasn't because of the heat. I guess you could say, I'm happy you came. She grinned, feeling the magnetism between the two of them despite their ridiculous situation. Shannon gestured to her soaked jeans. As am I. Fortunately, Chase was too busy chewing out the kitchen porter for trying to put out a grease fire with water. You know better, man. We've even done training specifically on that. You could have burned this whole place down, and I sure as hell don't want to deal with that again.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.